Let's kick it.
Ice, ice, baby.
Hi, fans. It's time for this first edition of Inside the Igloo. We certainly welcome you to this new segment, which will keep you up to date on all the latest happenings and inside information with the Jacksonville Icemen Hockey Club. We certainly hope that this installment finds you well and that you are safe as we go through this very odd time with the pandemic. But certainly that's part of the reason why we're here today, and that's to keep you up to date on all the happenings with the Jacksonville Icemen. And there's no better way to kick it off than with the president of the Icemen, Bob Ohrablo, who seems to be safe and cozy in his igloo there in Jacksonville Beach. Bob, welcome, and it's great to see you.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to be quarantined at home, this is not a bad place to do it. But yeah, I'm with you, Rita. Let's get this virus out of here and let's get back to normal, because we've got, especially as the Iceman family, we've got so many great things to look forward to.
We really do. And of course, obviously the fans are going to be eager to get back into just any bit of normalcy. And of course, with the season being cut short, they want to get as much hockey as they possibly can. And we hope that comes soon. So, with that all being said, Bob, obviously with everything getting cut short, the virus and the pandemic here and everybody having to shelter in place and close up shop early. But, how did the process go? What were some of the main goals when everything happened? I mean, it did happen very quickly when the league decided to cancel the remainder of the season. But from what I was able to gather and really witness, I thought the Iceman organization moved quickly on its end to get things moving quickly and go with that order.
Well, it's true. When we were on the conference call with the league, the first thing that came to everyone's mind was, none of us had ever been through this before, obviously. But, how do we make sure our players can get home? Many of them go across the border to Canada, see the home even further into Europe. But, how do we make sure the guys aren't stuck here? And can get home and be close to family and stuff. The second thing we worry about was our fans. We can't ask them to be in an arena with 5,000 or 6,000 people in it, or some of our crowds are going to be at 8,000. But we couldn't ask them to put the risk. Hey, listen, hockey's important. Life is more important. So I think the league did the responsible thing by sending the guys home and canceling the rest of the season. Obviously, for us, we lost 7 home games. For our fans, we lost 7 home games. More importantly, we were in a playoff run. And, but again, these are things we couldn't control. I think everybody, the league handled it well. The players handled it well. And I think it was all handled the best it could be under the circumstances.
And just to kind of update the fans, all the players made it home safely and they're doing well.
I'm sorry, you froze up.
That's some of the challenges we're having right now, I guess, when we're doing these interviews through
and
technology.
I've seen that on national TV too. So
I know it. No kidding. And of course, again, this is the new reality right now. The question I asked Bob was just update the fans on the players that they make certain that they made it home safely and all got there with a little issue.
They did. We've been talking to a bunch of them over the last few weeks. They all made it home. When they got home, they were required to be in 2 weeks of quarantine. It turns out that the quarantine has obviously become similar to what we have here, where they ask you not to leave your home, unless you absolutely need to. But for 2 weeks, they weren't allowed outside their home at all. So, but they're all safe. They're all back with family, and they're all anxious to get their summer started before they get back here for training camp.
Well, Bob, let's talk a little about the summer right now and some of the things. And of course, we have several things going on right now. And of course, one of the things the team's been very active on, I know on social media, just trying to provide some content and keep people engaged in some way because the season was cut short. But One of those initiatives is going to be Fang's Run, and of course, a virtual 5K, where that's going to be taking place this weekend, from Friday to Monday. There, fans will have an opportunity on their own time to participate in a 5K run that's going to benefit a great cause. I just wanted you to maybe shed a little bit of light on that. Of course, this is just one of those things to get people out of the house safely and keep them active during this time.
Yeah, this is something that registration's going on for right now at JacksonvilleIcemen.com. But it's an opportunity for our fans to go out and raise some money for a very good cause. We're working with Florida Blue on this, and we're raising money for Elder Source, which is a local nonprofit that on a regular, in normal conditions, delivers meals to seniors. They've gotten so much demand because a lot of seniors can't leave their homes for fear of catching this thing, and what they're doing is they've teamed up with the UNF culinary school to create meals and step it up and do a lot more home deliveries, and so we thought this was a great cause, and we partnered with Florida Blue. So all the money we raised through these registration fees for this will go directly to Elder Source through our foundation. And, it's a fun event. I mean, and it's the one 5K you can cheat on. You don't actually have to run it, which is why I like it. But it's obviously we hope that people will sign up, that they'll run it. There's 3 different levels of participation. Again, it's all donation. It all goes back to the charity. But we're hoping that people will sign up and do it and get out of the house a little bit, stay safe in your neighborhoods, or just run it in the house, or walk it, or crawl it, or however you want to do it. We're not going to be there to check, but send us photos too, and we'll put those up on social media. Registration's going on right now, again at JacksonvilleIcemen.com. And it goes through the weekend. It ends Monday, but you can register at any time between now and Monday.
Yeah, and again, folks, JacksonvilleIcemen.com, and that's going to be a big event here for the weekend. Again, it begins Friday, goes all the way through, I believe, Monday evening, so you got plenty of time to get it done. It's going to go to Elder Source there, of course, a great cause. And again, 3 different price levels and levels that you can participate in. There's some swag in there as well on some of the patches, a t-shirt, which actually looks really cool. So it's a lot of stuff. So for more information, you can go to JacksonvilleIcemen.com or check out the Icemen's social media platforms there as well.
And hopefully it's the last virtual 5K we ever have to do.
100%. We hope it's the first and the last.
Yes,
and then we can host normal 5Ks. Yeah, exactly. And we hope that everyone gets on that and has a little bit of fun with it. Bob, as with this happening here, just because the office is closed and the staff can't get to the office, and because we got the stay-at-home orders, it doesn't really mean that the office isn't working. The office has been doing a lot of planning meetings really since a couple of days following the season ending, thanks to sources such as Zoom here, allowing us to have the staff meetings and stuff. But the staff's hard at work. So basically, when things get a little bit back to normal, the team can hit the ground running and ready to go for its all-star season.
Yeah, you're correct. We have the best staff in the ECHL. I'm proud to say that. I say it all the time, even at team owner meetings. And what we've accomplished here in Jacksonville in 3 years has been awesome. Next year, this coming season, 2021, we hope to take it to a whole different level. We've had more time than ever to plan. It's our all-star season. We're going to be hosting the ECHL All-Star Weekend here in January. So the entire hockey world will be focused on Jacksonville for a few days, and we're very excited about that. So we have, our schedule is coming out next Tuesday, Wednesday. We're still making some tweaks to it, but it's going to be the best schedule we ever had. We focus so much of our energy on attracting families to the games. Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays are so important, and I think most of our games are going to be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with Saturdays being the key. And we'll end up with at least 13 Saturdays in the schedule. I'm still trying to get a couple more, but but it's going to be a great schedule. I will give anyone watching this a sneak preview of the schedule, but we will open up at home at the arena. Our first games are on the road, and then we'll opening night will be October 24th, Saturday, October 24th, against South Carolina.
That's great. Well, there you have it, folks. The date is set. Get it marked into your calendar, and of course, we'll have the full schedule released, as Bob said, early next week. Look out for potentially on Tuesday as being that day. But big news, we got a date, Bob, and something to look forward to. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. So
it seems like a long way away, but it's really not. We'll have a great summer between now and then. As soon as the virus lifts, we'll do a couple of events to get our fans together. We never did get to say goodbye at the end of the season because played a game and then all of a sudden it was gone. But we've been in contact with a lot of our season ticket members and all of our sponsors and stuff. And we have built such an incredible Icemen family here that everyone has been nothing but supportive and understanding of the situation. And I haven't talked to anybody who's dropping out of our family. They're all staying in, and they're all very excited. So, so we've been busy planning since the end of the season, and we're going to have some great surprises for people.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a great season without question, and can't get here soon enough. And Bob, one of the things when we started this little segment here inside the Igloo, we wanted to give the fans an opportunity to ask questions and cover any topics. So I got a few of those questions from some of the folks on Twitter. We want to thank everybody. Their questions on Facebook and Twitter. And when we do future segments, we'll prep you for that as well, so you can get your questions on who our particular might be. But we did get some feedback here. We'll start with some of our Facebook questions. And this question coming from Ellie Mack, who says, what does Bob do during the off season? You've kind of talked a little bit about that, but really, what are some of your roles in the off season? We see all over the place on game days, but in the off season and away from the rink, what are your duties?
The big thing for us during the off season is really work on preparing for the next season. And we've been doing that in a planning stage. If this was a normal off-season start of an off-season, we would be out there, talking to corporate sponsors, talking to potential new sponsors, season ticket members as well. And we're doing a lot of that stuff now through Thanks for Zoom, which right now is my vote for MVP of the Icemen for next season. But that'll change, I'm sure. That's a lot of what we do, speaking at Rotary clubs, speaking at business organizations, and really keeping that Iceman name out there in the community, community appearances, at different nonprofit organizations that we work with all season long. We help them during the summer. So there is no off season. It really is hockey season, and then a hockey season without the hockey, which describes the summer perfectly. And we do get some time to relax a little bit and rest and catch up and get ready for the 2021 season. So good question, Ellie.
Yeah, and a lot of people really interested in what you do, Bob, because we got another question from Thaddeus McBadger on Facebook. And, while we talked about the behind the scenes part, he wants to know what your responsibilities are during the game and, who are you interacting with as the game's going on?
During the game, I spend a lot of times roaming the concourse, talking to people or down in the lobby as they're coming in, just to make sure that they feel welcome. They feel like they're coming someplace special, which we all believe Iceman games are. A lot of times I'll spend time during the periods, talking to sponsors that are there, talking to potential sponsors that are there. Our sponsors are so important to keeping professional hockey here, and we really, appreciate their support. And we hope that all of the Iceman family, when they're trying to figure out where they're going to bank, where they're going to do different things, look at those dashboards and look at our website and go to those sponsors and tell them, you're here because you're part of the Iceman family, and so are we. So that's important to us. A lot of times in the third period, I'll take time to just sit and watch the game. Maybe I've seen 5 minutes of the game going into the third period, but I'll take time to sit and watch the game because on top of working with the team, I'm a fan too. And I love hockey. I've been in hockey most of my life, and I love the kind of hockey that Jason Christie has put here, and I like to watch it too.
Certainly a lot of fun without question. I'm glad you get a little bit of downtime, Bob. You deserve it. My goodness. Nina Toe on Facebook wants to know simply, where'd you grow up, Bob? Where are you from?
I grew up in New York City in Queens. I was a Rangers fan while the Islanders were winning Stanley Cups on Long Island. But I was a fan of Billy Smith, their goaltender. I played roller hockey, a little bit of ice hockey, and played in goal. In high school, the shots started getting a little too hard. I started getting bruised. And I decided from there that I wanted to be a part of hockey. And I went to work for a professional team while I was in high school, just running errands and selling tickets and stuff. And that was the World Hockey Association, the New York Raiders and Golden Blades. And from that time on, that team wasn't successful. It ended up leaving the town and going to San Diego. But from that time on, I knew that I wanted to be in hockey. I knew there was no way that was happening with me on the ice. So since then, I've been fortunate enough, right through college and everything else, to be involved with hockey teams. And it's my life. It's my passion. It's what I want to do. And it's also very nice not to be doing it up north anymore and doing it in this beautiful state we live in.
Well, Bob, we have another question on Facebook. You kind of touched up on it a little bit in some of your previous comments, but it's from Bobby Sanders. And, she'd said, are there any plans to have an Iceman get together when all of this is over with? I know you mentioned that would be something that we'd be looking at, but I think that's almost not so much a question of if, but almost a priority that we do something here that the fans can look forward to, just to get everybody out and say hello to one another again.
Yeah, we talked about that, and maybe not only one, but a few different events. But yes, there is definitely plans to do it. Bobby, I can't tell you when. That's up to people in the political and medical fields for me to do that. I know we won't do it until it's safe to do it. So, but yes, we definitely want to get everyone together and celebrate the fact that we're all back in the same family, and start that countdown to October 24th. I have a lot of fun. I go out to the Puckhead tailgates every once in a while when I can and stuff. And we got the greatest group of fans I've ever worked with here. So I can't wait to see you all again.
That's what you really do behind the scenes at games. You're at the tailgate. So.
I'm sorry, you broke up again.
No, I was just going to say, I said that's what you're really doing behind the scenes, Bob. You're at the tailgate. Yeah, we can find
That's it. Yep, I'm guilty.
All right, Bob, a couple more questions. Now we're going to switch over to Twitter. At Submarine Mike, the Twitter handle. This is more kind of from a game operation standpoint, but any chance this season we can get a video of the quote, the famous Ric Flair? Can I get a Ric Flair? Maybe a little bit of a woo there as well. And, of course, maybe a video to kind of like teach the rest of the crowd the goal chant when the crowd does an amazing job there in that one end zone as they sing-song the goalie. But any chance for like that from a game off standpoint?
Yeah, this has to be the worst building in the world for opposing goaltenders.
I agree.
and guys, keep it up. Yeah, the Ric Flair song. I went on YouTube. I didn't know what it was. I don't watch much wrestling, but I went on and I kind of like that song. And we'll talk to our staff and during one of these many planning meetings on Zoom we have about that. So thanks for the suggestion there.
Without question. And then our final Twitter question, Jim Tamil, at Jim Tamil, says, any thoughts on cross promotions with the Armada when their new stadium opens up? Of course, it's not going to Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed since I've been in Jacksonville now for over 3 years is that there's a real spirit of cooperation among the teams. We've done some promotions with the Jumbo Shrimp. We've done promotions with the Jags on occasion. Matter of fact, we have Jags staff running in our virtual 5K this weekend. Thanks to several people at the Jags. And I guess they're going to burn off the draft, everything that happens with the draft because they're real busy now. But they definitely said they needed some kind of a team building outlet, and they chose our 5K for that. So we have close relationships with them. Getting back to the Armada, we'd be more than happy to do promotions with them. We've worked together nicely with the Sharks on occasion. The nice thing about this city is that all of the sports teams like each other. It doesn't always happen that way. Someone feels like you're trying to steal their fans or whatever, but they like each other. They work together well, and that's one of the nice things about being here in Jacksonville.
Well, Bob, I have one question for you, and I guess a real personal one, probably the biggest question of them all. But since we've all been in quarantine here, have you had a chance to watch the Tiger King?
I did. I don't know if I should be saying this publicly, but yes, I did. It was an interesting series that you come out of it. At least I did. Not liking any of the people on the show. So, but hey, listen, it provided some entertainment. I think we binge watched it over 3 nights. But I knew people were going to ask me that. I didn't think it was going to be you, but, I knew people would ask me that. So I said, I guess I better watch it. But, it was fun. It was something to do for a few nights,
For sure.
I know the first thing I want to do when this virus lifts is get a haircut. It's starting to get a little long, and I'm starting to look like I did when I was a teenager. Because I remember I grew up in the 70s, so so hair was not an issue there.
Bringing it back, Bob. Bringing it back. Well,
I don't know about that.
Well, I want to thank everybody who submitted their questions on our social media platforms. Again, as we do this segment, in the future, we will, give you an opportunity to ask questions to whoever our particular guest might be. So we thank you for everyone for their participation, and we want to provide a forum for our fans to interact, engage, and get some questions answered. Anything we can do to help in that regard. So a big thank you for the questions. Bob, before we close things out here in our first segment here of Inside the Igloo, I just wanted to get your chance to get your closing thoughts before we wrap it up.
Well, the most important thought is, I want to tell everyone, stay safe. We'll all get out again. We'll all be out again. We'll all be with each other again. But for now, I know people are starting to get a little impatient, but stay safe. That's the most important thing to tell everyone. We want you back. We want you back on October 24th at the arena. Just remember that, this is just something that we're going through right now, and it's going to end, and at the other side of that is a full season of Icemen hockey, which I know we all can't wait for. But I certainly appreciate all your support, for understanding what's gone on this year as well, this season, and all I can do is tell you, both on the ice and off the ice, we're going to be the best we're going to continue to be the best organization in the ECHL. And our goal, I know I talk to Coach all the time, and I've talked to Winnipeg, and I've talked to several other people around the hockey world, and everyone knows that the Jacksonville Icemen want to make the playoffs and bring a cup here to Jacksonville. So that's going to be our recruiting call this year. Plus, every Iceman's an all-star this year.
Right.
Since it's us against the league at the all-star game, and that's a good recruiting tool. For a player to put a feather in a cap and say they were in an all-star game. It doesn't happen very often. So that's, that's me closing now. But if anybody has any questions or wants to get in touch with me, Bob at JacksonvilleIcemen.com. Please send me emails and let me know what you're thinking at any time, and I will get back to you. So thank you very much, and let's get through this and then have a great summer.
All right, Bob. Again for your time, we really appreciate it as always, and we'll be chatting here again in the future, I'm sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Reader.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning into our first installment of Inside the Igloo. Again, we're going to have future segments. We'll prompt you when we need those questions in the future on our social media platforms there on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. But again, this is just a forum for you and to keep you updated and give you some inside information on the team. Now, again, just a couple notes we mentioned. We have a date, October 24th against South Carolina. That'll be the home opener for the Icemen. And then, of course, the 5K race this weekend. Just go to jacksicemen.com. Check out all the different levels there of participation. And again, it's all going to a great source. It's a great cause here in our area.
And don't forget, we got our jersey raffle coming up. I think it's next week sometime. So keep looking at social media. And the next raffle goes to benefit the PHPA Players Fund, the PHPA ECHL Fund, to help compensate players that got cut short a little bit on their pay for this year.
So there you have it. Thanks, Bob. It's a great point there. That raffle will be coming up as well. And we'll have all that posted again on our social media chat platforms, I should say. So you can get up to date on that. But again, for Bob Ohrablo, I'm Alex Reed. Again, thank you for tuning in to Inside the Igloo. From our igloo to yours, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Let's kick it.